So Apple revealed more details on the Apple Watch Monday at an event that was much anticipated by both consumers and journalists alike. But there were the products and the presentation. Was it enough to convince gadget lovers to want to spend? Joining us now to talk about that is Jonathan Haidt, the president of PR consulting firm Allison & Partners. And Jonathan, there's always a lot of fanfare surrounding these Apple events. Was this particular event one that lived up to expectations for you from a PR perspective and a tech perspective?
I think you have to put it into perspective. This is Tim Cook's first event where he's launching a new product. So it comes inherent with some risk involved. And I think that for, on all counts, it really lived up to that factor. I don't think hype is necessarily the right word. I think they do a good job of being showing showmanship without being showy.
You know, one of the things that we chatted about in our newsroom here was this idea that Tim Cook really commanded the audience in a way that's not like Steve Jobs, but in just as powerful a fashion. How did Tim Cook come across in terms of his presentation and his stage presence to you?
I think in a word, it looked like he was having fun up there. You know, he realized that this was his moment to own a product, much the way, you know, the iPhone wasn't truly just a phone, the Apple Watch isn't truly just a watch. And I think he really, he got the gravity of the moment, but also kept it fun and light.
Now let's talk about the watch, because there were a number of other announcements and a number of stats thrown out about just how mighty Apple was, or is. But the watch was perhaps front and center for a lot of consumers and journalists out there. What did you think about the watch?
I think the watch is a really interesting avenue into existing iPhone owners and the cult loyalists that iPhone and Apple have bred over 2 decades of great products, right? The real measure of this product is going to be later in the year when you get to holiday time and you start to see the mid to late adopters and whether they're getting this product as a holiday gift or buying it themselves.
So there are a number of different features that the watch incorporates. What are the features that you've seen so far that make it the most compelling to a person who would maybe be on the fence about buying it?
Sure. For a person on the fence, I think the fitness aspects of this watch are things that really stand out. You know, the challenge this watch has is it a fashion accessory or is it a gadget, right? So it depends on who you're talking to. For me personally, I really love to see Mickey Mouse's face on the timepiece of it, and to think about brands as a brand consultant able to provide digital tools to allow people to interact with the brand in new ways and actually create new revenue opportunities in fun and interesting fashion was really compelling to me.
Apple has found a way to make the smartphone synonymous with its name, the tablet computer synonymous with its name, even laptops in some degree synonymous with its name, the Mac, the iPhone, the iPad. Is the watch going to do that same thing for Apple? Will Apple somehow be able to make a watch synonymous with its own brand?
You know, without having seen the watch itself yet or played with it, it's really tough to say. I do think this market is so fragmented. I know fitness lovers and runners love their GPS trackers, and people who really want to just count steps love their Fitbits, and you know, fashion people love their watches. So to own that, I think is going to be a huge challenge, but I never count Apple out.
Nobody ever can, right? They're the world's richest company for a reason. Jonathan Haidt, thank you so much for joining us here on the Tech Bet. That's Jonathan Haidt, the CEO and head of Allison & Partners. And thanks for watching Tech Bet. I'm Dominic Chu. Have a great day.
Hey YouTube fans, I'm Landon Dowdy from CNBC. Thank you so much for checking out our channel. You can subscribe by clicking right here to check out the latest Mad Money CEO interviews, market news, financial advice, and product unboxing. Enjoy!